I'm going to die. The next one I do is going to be like, welcome back. Are we good? Awesome. Excellent. Welcome back, Owlet fans. My name's Futmob, and I'm joined tonight by Toots. Welcome, Toots.
We're back.
We are back. So we've got a top-of-the-table clash tonight for everybody sitting at home. Meeting tonight in the minors division of Owlet. Again, we're in week 4, stage 1, day 2 here. We've got the team of Otter Oxide going up against a Flashpoint. Toots, what can you tell me? What's the tail of the tape here on the two teams?
So last time we were here with Otter Oxide, they were up against Blazing Pegasus. They were defending their #1 spot, I believe. Am I
You
right
are
there?
correct about that. They were defending their number one spot, but we did actually have Flashpoint take back over that #1 spot with their win.
So
And it was
Otter Oxide is here to take it back.
Yeah, so it was just on map differential also. So again, sorry about the delay, everyone out there. We're actually going to be hopping into map 1 here real quick. So the story tonight, though, right, Toots, is can Otter Oxide take back over sole ownership of place 1 in the minors division, or can Flashpoint, the new team on the black here, bringing it in, keep their spot there at the top, at the peak?
So yeah, I think based on what we've seen from Otter Oxide, we won't be able to tell until the very end. I mean, because they were down 2-0 against Blazing Pegasus and they reverse swept. Like they just came alive halfway through the match. So I'm hoping for a similarly strong performance in another close match.
Yeah, I'm absolutely ecstatic for this matchup right here, Toots. If there's one thing we can say about Otter Oxide, it's that there may be a second half team, right? So
Yeah.
the second half of the map pool, at least tonight, probably favors them the most. But I can only imagine that after last match, they went back to the drawing board a bit. Thought about, hey, what's not working? What do we need to do? And they're going to be coming out of the doors really ringing it tonight. So I am interested, though. Let's see what Flashpoint brings out. Looking at the comps right now, it does look like Otter Oxide is going to be bringing out a dive here. They did bring out a similar composition last time on Sanctum. And we've got more of a bunker comp here on the side of Flashpoint. So let's see if they can get that aggression going here. They need to get that aggression. So take them while they're rotating. Let's see what they're going to do here. So Bull's moving up on the left side, moving through Closet here. They do hack Grumpy, and it looks like they might be able to go in on this. Is this the initiation? Looks like they're getting low there. We have Sakura in there on the Hammond here. The dive comes in on the backside, and Pie Ninja's taking a lot of damage. They're putting a ton of pressure, though. The Big Purple, though, in there right now from Bird. Bird putting in work, and Sakura just slamming down. It looks like they may be able to take this over from well, they are going to give up point first, but I think they're still going to be able to win this. Sakura needs to stay alive. Where's the sustain? It's only a matter of time before they get in there. Bull's in there applying pressure. They need to take out that Lucio. Lucio does get hacked, and it looks like, at least at this point, Otter Oxide is going to take the point back over after a brief stint not holding the point there. So, looking at ult economy here, what do we have coming into fight 2 here, Toots?
I think we're probably going to be seeing a Nano, maybe a Primal. Definitely Otter Oxide is up, but the real problem for Flashpoint here is going to be retaking. That's always been the problem with Orisa comps on this, and depending on how this next push goes, we may see a swap.
Oh. Yeah, and we do actually. I think they recognize how difficult it is to take it with bunker comp, have decided to swap up entirely. And I love the McCree pick here. Keeping with the McCree works really well against Sombra, works really well against the Hammond, but they're a little bit weak on the back end here. They need to watch out, make sure that they don't take a lot of damage here, and those purples are going to put in a lot of work. So there is no Diva on their side as well, especially with the Ana. Now they're putting work here down in Closet. Hammond Slam comes down. Looks like they're sustaining quite a bit in here, but the purple comes in on the backside here. Sakura's getting out, taking damage. Sakura gets taken out here, and it looks like this is still going to be going the way of Otter Oxide here. And what a great primal there from Bulls, exerting his dominance on Piper. Yeah, Bull's really coming out on fire tonight. A little bit of a slow starter last match, and it looks like, they've had a little bit of a swap up today also with the roles. We have Bird now on support as opposed to
typically the DPS role.
Yeah, exactly. So, interesting swap here, but, we've seen Bird on Widow, so swapping to Ana is not too much different, right? So.
Yeah, DPS players do tend to gravitate towards Zenyatta.
Yeah, the Shatter's coming in here, but it doesn't get into it. Bulls puts down the shield, blocks that, but the charge comes in, knocks out Xavier here, and it looks like they might be able to sustain here on point. Bulls, though, taking out Paco El Taco on the backside, and Piper going down, and they are just not giving up this point here with Otter Oxide. So, again, a very staunch hold. I'm not sure. Without the Diva here, I don't know if it's working for them. They're running more of a disruption comp on the side of Otter Oxide, and we're seeing how effective it is here. I don't think they're going to be able to get back to point.
Oh, that was, that was a rough stagger there.
It was, and at this point, the point is definitely going to be going to Otter Oxide. They're going to get the first one, but Xavier gets charged. Piper not going out without saying, hey, I'm still here, guys. We'll get you in the next point. Yeah, so, but this could be really big here on the side of Boots. Is Boots going to put in work? Boots does put in work. Could they possibly turn this around? It does look like all the trades are going on the side of Flashpoint. Wow.
They took Xavier out with B, and I really kind of opened the door up for him. I thought that pin was going to be a YOLO kind of whatever, didn't mean anything kind of pin, but I think it actually won the fight.
It absolutely won the fight, but looking at it right now, we've got the EMP coming up here for FAMSU. This could unlock the point from them. They had to, they had to use a lot of ults there to unlock that point on the side of Flashpoint. Right. So, they're going to have to bunker down here a bit. They do have Nano, right? They do have the beat, like you're saying, and it's going to be down to how they execute with the Nano, how they execute with the beat. They need to get value, and they need to get in there, and they need to get aggressive. Paco El Taco's alone right now on the side there. I think if they pressure Paco, they might be able to get some work in here. Now look at FAMSU coming along on the side. The dive comes in. The EMP is only a matter of time here before they put it in. Big purple there from Bird. The Nano does come in, though, on Bola Bulls. The bomb comes in here. The shield's down. Piper's only a matter of time before Piper goes down. Rainbow also getting pressure. The bombs are on point from Sakura here. And Cristiano Ronaldo, 727, going down there. And it looks like, again, this point is going to be going over to Otter Oxide. They are likely to take Sanctum, point 1 here, as Bola Bulls comes in to clean up. So, Toots, just looking at the first map here while they clean up and whatnot, what was your kind of your takeaway, at least so far here, when it comes to Otter Oxide?
Based on what we're seeing so far, I think Otter Oxide is looking a bit stronger right now. They're kind of just going in and winning the fights, and the only time I think that it's turned back in the favor of Flashpoint is when they have ults, they have something tangible to work with. And the rest of this is just going to be cleanup here.
Yeah, so I mean, we're talking obviously about the next map. Pretty standard stagger. They're not obviously going to give up. They're going to try to get back on there. But realistically speaking, the fight was over. So let's see what map we're rolling up on here for map 2 for both sides. And from the looks of it, looks like it's going to be Shrine. So last time on Shrine, we had Otter Oxide, if I remember correctly, bringing out the unsupported Pharah here with Bird on Pharah. Now, looking at it, it doesn't look like they're going to be swapping comps. It looks like they're feeling really comfortable with the triple dive. I remember in our interview with Otter Oxide, they said their coach has been hammering into them this idea of running the triple tank dive, and we're seeing it right now. So we have C. Ronaldo here over on the Pharah. Again, unsupported Pharah other than with the Zen, and they have double heals here with the Lucio Zen, so they're looking to play very aggressive with this comp. Now, they have swapped over from the Lucio over to the Mercy just to get the initial boost off the door. Cristiano Ronaldo, looking for some real damage up here around the Shrine. Now, they're playing around Elephant here for Otter Oxide. Hammond's going in deep on the backline onto Paco El Taco. The dive comes in. Paco's going to be going down. What follow-up from there? The boop off there from Pie Ninja, and Piper's likely going to be going down here with Grumpy Kitten. And the absolute execution there from Otter Oxide was perfect. Right when Pie Ninja goes in, Bola Bulls follows right up there, and they are ready to put the work in. Now, see Ronaldo going down. They do need to cap point. They do cap point here. And looking at it, I'm really liking this comp right now that Otter Oxide is running. They're running it with so much more efficiency than they did the other night. And, it's going to be hard for them to unlock this point on the side of Flashpoint. The Zen Goats, it's weak to this comp, in my opinion. Toots, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually I was interested to see if they would keep running the Pharah, because I think it's still okay here. They just have to be playing more with the team to deal in more consistent damage. But let's see what happens here.
Yeah, now Bola Bull's hopping out here, recognizing taking a lot of damage. Looks like right now Flashpoint's going to move to point, try to entrench themselves in. Piper coming in with the charge, misses everyone. C. Ronaldo putting in the bash, going on to Xavier. Sakura coming in with the slam down. And C. Ronaldo over here on Bird. Bird needs to watch out. Pie Ninja's getting low here. And it looks like they're trying to exert their dominance on point here for Flashpoint. They do take out Pie Ninja. Sakura getting low, and Bird also getting low here. Now it looks like Sakura going back in here. The charge comes in onto Sakura by Piper, taking out Sakura, and Xavier just trying to stall out on point. This fight's over here, and Pie Ninja is going to be just feeding a lot of ult charge here. So looking at the fight, really what ended up happening right there was simply that they decided to take the fight to point and say, here, come in on us right now, Otter Oxide. But let's look at the actual ult economy here on the side of Otter Oxide. Are they going to be able to hold this off? I don't think so. I think Monkey's probably going to be going down here. Bolabols does have his ult. He may pop ult. There was a big purple in there from Bird. Is there a possibility that they might turn this around?
If they can get an EMP off here, they might actually just tip this right back.
I think you're absolutely right. And with Grumpy Kitten going down here, I think it's definitely a possibility. The Shatter comes down onto everyone on the backside, and it looks like they're going to be able to clean up potentially here. Now, Piper coming in with the charge again on Pie Ninja, and Sakura just swinging around the point here, trying to say, come on, guys, try to get me here. And it does look like finally that Flashpoint's going to be able to secure the point right there. So, you know, what an incredible stall there from Otter Oxide. And look at the ults. Look at the ults here. They were able to build up with that, exerting no ult pressure there at all.
All they used was Primal, that's it.
Yeah, incredible. Now, we do have the grab coming up here from Boots. Pie Ninja's going to have to keep an eye on that. You know, and I'm looking at it right now. I think an EMP's coming in here, and I'll bet you Paco Taco's going to be the target here. So Rainbow maybe needs to hide here, make sure that if one of them gets hit, the other does not. The bomb comes in, EMP's coming in, it's going to be big. It does take out Piper. The trance comes in for sustain. The counter beat there on the side from Xavier. The trance probably going to be no trance here, but Xavier does get taken out after using ult here. And it does look like they're going to be able to stabilize on point here. Now, looking at it right now, it does look like the trades are on the side of Flashpoint. We have the bombs on point, so they got to be careful with those. And Sakura's trying to put work on the backside. It does look like they're moving over to Sakura, doing damage. Pie Ninja's starting to get focused here, and they do need to get out. They need to reset here. They've got at least 2 more fights here if they can just reset effectively. So Pie Ninja does not get staggered there. They could have probably waited to kill Pie Ninja. And looking at it right now, they're doing a bit of a swap here, right? We've got Bola Bulls. It looks like they might be swapping over to Goats.
Standard Goats, yeah.
Are they going to keep Famsu on the Sombra, though? And I think they might. So, okay, nope. Famsu does go over to the Brigida. So they're running Ana Goats now into the Zenyatta Goats. And if there's one thing about Zen Goats that's always true, it's the incredible opportunity for burst damage. Now, Piper has ult. Is Piper going to be able to get out a big Shatter here? Look at the Bash. The Bash comes in. The Shatter is blocked there by Bola Bulls, but Bola Bulls is getting taken down very low, and Bola Bulls does go down. Now, we have the Diva Bomb coming in on a point from Grumpy Kitten. Does end up getting Pie Ninja. DMAC there by Paco Taco on Pie Ninja. And it looks like they're going to be able to hold this point, and this point is going to be going to the side of Flashpoint. Toots, we have an absolute banger on our side tonight. What a match this is going to be.
By surprise. Yeah, Otter Oxide was able to expend just Primal Rage and have 5 ults up with 90% on their side. I can't help but be surprised at the outcome here. I think that there must have been an insufficient follow-up on the EMP play, because, I mean, if you're running
I thought it was a winner.
I thought it was over.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the clincher. They took out Piper, right? Piper goes down. We're like, okay, Ryan's down, right? Now they can push forward, and maybe there just wasn't the follow-up. Now, looking at both sides here, we have the McCree on the side of Otter Oxide. Yes, we have the ice cream truck on the side of Flashpoint. Love ice cream truck. It's really going to depend here who gets the point first. So as long as Flashpoint can set up on the point, get there quickly, I think they're going to have an advantage with their comp right now. With the buffs to Reaper, I think C. Ronaldo is going to be putting in some work. So let's see how they approach the point. Bola Bulls taking the front line, getting really damaged down here big time. They need to push on Bola Bulls if they're going to keep this point. Now, they're on point. They've stabilized. It looks like they're just waiting to bait out the Mei wall. Are they going to push on the point? Are they going to Mei wall them when they walk through? This is the key. And it looks like they're pushing on. The wall's coming on. It does look like the Mei gets caught out. Bird gets taken down. And it looks like they're going to be able to stabilize here on point. Bola Bulls coming in with a charge. Is going to miss. It is going to miss there. They do focus them down. But already, Pie Ninja with the Coalescence trying to put work in, but I think it's just a little bit too late here. They needed to save that for the next push. It looks like Flashpoint's going to be able to clear this one up right here. So, looking at it right now, do they need to swap? Do they need to change something up on the side of Otter Oxide, Toots?
I think if the shoe had been on the other foot, it had been Flashpoint that had been unable to take the point, I would definitely recommend a swap. I think it's really difficult for Ice Cream Truck to retake a point, but I think they need to swap Bird off onto something else. I think Famsu on McCree is still probably okay here.
Yeah. Now, important here, they need to group up and they need to go in together. Now, the grab does come in. This was a bit of a surprise. They do get walled off. They baited out the wall. This could be really, really good. They block the shatter. The counter shatter from Bola Bulls. It's massive. And they are going to clean this up. Famsu taking out C. Ronaldo, but Piper taking out Famsu. And are they going to be able to sustain here on the side of Flashpoint? It does look like they may be able to. Bola Bulls gets taken out, and they again are able to somehow pull this out of nowhere and control this point and keep this point. I thought for all the world there that Otter Oxide was going to be able to take that point back, Toots.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just comparing the Shatters, Piper's was just, it got so much more value than Bulls. Like, Bulls was sort of like a tempo play, Piper's was like a team wipe.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it there, though, I mean, the counter shatter from Bola Bulls was big, wasn't it? So they're going back in here. They're approaching point. They're looking for the wall here. The train now. They do have it in, but the big ult there from Reaper coming through. But the Deadeye is even bigger. Now the counter beat on the side of Otter Oxide. They're pushing through to point. Zarya is going down. They're going to be getting onto point. Are they going to be able to do work? But the shatter comes in from Piper. It's huge, and it looks like the combo with the Mei ult is going to be able to clear it up, and we are going to have the first map going to Flashpoint.
Wow.
I mean, it's not just a Q party, but the execution of the Qs on the side of Flashpoint is really something else. You know, it seems like they're always
impressed.
ready. Yeah.
I think they're showing why they're in #1, sitting in #1 right now.
Yeah, I mean, we did say, though, that Otter Oxide is maybe a second half team, right?
Exactly.
So is that what we're seeing again tonight? And I'm not sure if that is what we're seeing. If there's anything we know about Otter Oxide, right, it's that if they're not as strong on the first two maps, but they're still going at it, right? Like they're still showing up tonight, right? Like the other night,
Yeah.
you know, it didn't seem like they were really showing up for the first two maps. Maybe they were a little nervous, whatever it might have been, right? That said, you know, I feel like they've come out with a little bit more oomph tonight, and that might bode well for them going into the second half of the maps. Now, we do have Route 66 coming up next, and, you know, looking at both teams here, I can't help but believe that it has to be going the way of Otter Oxide with their prevalence with dive. But, you know, is Flashpoint going to maybe bring out some type of stall comp? Are they going to bring out some type of, you know, spawn camp comp, you know, something like that, something different? What do you think, Toots?
Okay, well, so when we're looking at the player card for Flashpoint, and they were asked, I think it was what map type they prefer, they said yes. That is their best map type. So I'm expecting to see a lot of play styles in Route 66. And I think, you know, various stages of the map lend themselves to completely different compositions, completely different play styles as well. I'm really hoping to see Wrecking Ball on .1 attack both sides. He's like, his ability to separate and disrupt is just incredible. And especially when you see a lot of bunker, a lot of Rhine heavy comps holding on first defense for Route 66.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I'd love to see them kind of go with the Hammond. Now, if we remember from last night or the other night, right? They did pull out the triple tank dive on .1 Route 66 on the side of Otter Oxide. Now, I'm not too familiar, at least right now, with what Flashpoint's been running this stage. But just looking at their hero pool from their team card here, we have Reinhardt, we have Winston from the tanks here, and we have Diva, right? So I'm not necessarily, at least right now, expecting an Orisa comp. There could be an Orisa comp, but I don't know if I'm necessarily expecting some type of bunker, right? So maybe we might get some kind of GOATS defense from Flashpoint. Maybe we might get some kind of dive defense from Flashpoint, right? We might even
I'd love to see dive defense.
Yeah, I would love to see it. I'd love to see maybe a Pharah. I'd love to see a Sombra maybe on their side, something like that. But something that kind of disrupts, you know, what Otter Oxide's going to be trying to throw at them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm expecting to see the Sombra, though, from Otter Oxide here. Maybe the triple tank dive with the Sombra. I think it could be very effective. So
definitely. And I think like the thing that really those kinds of compositions really thrive on is their ability to disrupt the defense when they have something that's a lot more stationary, doesn't work well with high ground, and sort of once the first initiation is made and the position is taken, really struggles to regain momentum. And I think running a dive defense really just kind of pulls that weakness out of the equation. You have to play around things differently, and you have to be a lot more careful with your execution and your engagements. But I think the strength here is that you have a lot of chances to sort of retake a fight.
yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Toots. And, you know, just waiting for the players to kind of load in right now. I think, looking at it here, this could be a very, very close matchup here on this map, just based on what we saw from Nepal here.
Absolutely,
Now,
yeah.
waiting on the comps to be revealed, you know, what's kind of, at least at your point, your standout player from each team here so far, Toots?
Um, I've been pretty impressed with Piper's main tanking on the side
Mhm.
of Flashpoint, and actually, now that I'm looking at it, I'm actually thinking Bullables too. Okay, so I'm a main tank at heart, and so my bias might be bleeding through a bit here. So I think main tanks both sides. I've been pretty impressed. What about you?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Now, I will say my player to watch on this particular map is going to be Boots. Looking at the comps right now that have been revealed, so a little bit cheating a bit on you here, Toots. Boots is on Widow, right? So
Hmm.
I'm looking to see whether or not Boots is going to be taking coast, and whether or not Boots can exert their dominance on Bird here on the Ash, right? So looking at the comps, we do have the triple tank dive on the side of Otter Oxide, and we have, it looks at least like to be more or less a Pharah Widow dive from the side of Flashpoint. Now, thinking about who has the advantage here, I think that Ash is a great counter to Pharah. So I'm expecting probably here that C. Ronaldo might need to swap off Pharah if Bird's able to put that damage in. Now, the triple tank dive, really good against a Widow. Are they going to be able to at least contest Widow so that
Oh
she
no,
can't get enough work in? Now, it does
Bird
look like
DC.
yeah, Bird DC'd. We're getting a pause here, everybody in Twitch land. So yeah, just let's take apart the comps just a bit here,
Sure.
Toots. What are the win conditions when it comes to the side of Flashpoint with their Pharah Widow dive?
Okay, so if we think about it sort of in terms of sequencing, typically what we're going to be expecting is the tanks to be making space uh, for the Pharah and the Widow. So typically what we'll see is sort of a simultaneous engagement of Piper and Kitten onto the high ground or onto wherever sort of the pressure points for Otter Oxide. And I'm guessing that's either going to be Hacker on Ana or Bird on Ash. So
Mhm.
once that happens, then Boots has space to move in, take stronger sightlines. Ronaldo can also be doing the same, moving in on top of big Earls and applying heavy, heavy pressure. If that doesn't happen, then there's going to be a counter engagement, a counter dive from Bull of Bulls, Sakura, and Famsu onto most likely Paco El Taco or
Mhm.
Boots. I think that's really like those are really the best targets for them. And as soon as you unpin Boots, as soon as you unpin Paco El Taco, I think the rest of the fight basically just cleans up nicely from there.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, and I think this kind of rests, and I said it kind of rests on Boots, right? And to a certain extent, the only reason I think right now it rests on Boots is, can Boots first off take out Bird on the Ash, and secondly, can Boots at least stay alive long enough from the engagement from Otter Oxide, right? Because the
Hmm.
engagement's going to be really, really difficult here. So
Yeah,
we're
I think I mean, like the sniper or the sniper on sniper matchup here has always been important, even if it's not Widow on Widow. Widow on Hanzo, Hanzo on Ash. I think as soon as like the sight lines on this map don't really stop until the third checkpoint, and even then you still sometimes see a lot of sniper play.
mhm.
Usually it'll be from like defensive side. I think defense is a little bit stronger up until you get to the very very end of the third checkpoint,
Mhm.
where Widow can take top left. But I think yeah, I think up, especially through streets, I think Ronaldo's ability to get value on Farah and Boots' ability to pressure Bird in such a way like that Ronaldo can do that, I think is going to be a big part of the story here.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Toots. Now, it does look like it's taking a little bit of time to get Bird in, so we are going to throw it over to a brief break while we wait for Bird to get back in. And once Bird's back in, we're going to toss it right back out to the live broadcast for everybody out there in Twitch land. So stay tuned, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We're getting everyone right back into the action here. Cristiano Ronaldo taking a forward position. Looks like, at least right now, Otter Oxide is looking to just kind of stabilize here on the back end, but they do need to start getting aggressive. Boots taking over on the right side coast here. Bird and Boots really going at each other. Bird actually swapping over to the Widow here. It does get taken out by Boots. Now, backside here, Sakura going down the back line here, but the peel is real right there from Heartbeat, but they do end up taking out Paco El Taco with the counter dive from Sakura. Now, they do get the res up here on Paco El Taco. They're putting pressure on Bola Bowls. Bola Bowls needs to watch out. They are going to get taken out. Sakura stabilizing on top here with Rudolph, and Rudolph does back out. It looks like they're going to regroup and look to recontest here. Now, looking at the ult economy, we've got C. Ronaldo coming up on their ult. Toots, what do we think we're seeing on this next engagement?
I'm thinking Ronaldo's going to be trying to hold pretty close in case to the doors and the top right there, just to keep anybody from contesting and applying heavy damage, and also just you can't let Bird in. Bird is so dangerous on Widow, and that's, I think, going to be the story for the Streets phase as well.
Now, the stagger is not going to be good here on the side of Otter Oxide. Sakura going in there to stall out, but they were ready. And it looks like right now they're taking some advanced positions here, at least on the side of Flashpoint. Bola Bowl's holding back up top here. Looks like C. Ronaldo is going to be looking possibly for a flank barrage here. Now, Bird holding top there with Famsu, Sakura on the bottom side, and Rudolph taking pressure from Grow Up and Kitten. They're putting a little bit of pressure, though, on the back line here as Bola Bowls hops back up. And they do need to start playing forward. Now, the bomb's coming out. Is it going to get value? It looks like it might, and it does take out Bird. Bola Bowl's going down also by Boots. And it looks like right now they need to take this fight to the point here. Sakura stalling out on point. Famsu's going to have to get back out. Piper putting pressure then on Hacker Pro in the saloon. Now, looking at it here, I'm seeing C. Ronaldo probably barraging as they come through the entranceway here.
Yeah, maybe letting him walk out the doorway. But as soon as we can see, as soon as Bird got cleaned out, and we see a swap to Pharah now, maybe not getting as much value on Widow as they were hoping for. Ooh,
and Boots takes out Famsu. There goes the defense matrix when they walk through here. C. Ronaldo is going to have a free barrage. Now, here comes the barrage. It does come through. It is big. C. Ronaldo taking out the team right there, right then. And Bola Bowl's coming in with the charge, but gets taken out. C. Ronaldo cleaning up the team. Boots cleaning up Rudolph, and they're going to take point 2 decisively. Now, Toots, something's got to change here on the side of Otter Oxide. They're going to be getting rolled here through point 3.
Yeah, I think so, and we're looking at a bit of a swap, or a bit of a change up here, but I'm still seeing Bird on Pharah, which I think is especially interesting for this phase and on defense.
Is this not the calling card, though, of Otter Oxide, the unsupported Pharah?
In strange places.
Boots does seem to be able to control the space, controlling the sightlines here, and is really pushing back the side of Otter Oxide with their pressure on Widow. Now, putting more pressure is Piper here on the side. Now, it looks like really going after Rudolph. The Diva Bomb is coming in here to support. They are just going to be cleaning up just a bit here. Bird looking to put some damage in. But again, looking at the backside here, Boots trying to at least keep Bird in check. Now, C. Ronaldo putting damage on the side. Bird getting a direct on C. Ronaldo. They're pushing forward. The backside is getting pushed by Bola Bowls here. Sakura getting the picks they need. Sakura really getting the picks they need. And the Primal comes in from Piper. Not sure how much value they're going to get from this, but Bola Bowls getting in on that back line. It does look like they're going to be able to clean up just a bit here. They are going to be able to stabilize. And this is where it gets difficult for the attacking team here, Toots.
Definitely, yeah. I think Sakura's really putting in work on Zarya, and I think that was kind of necessary because Famsu has spent, I would say probably up to this point, 50 to 60% of this round out of mech, which against a Pharah is generally pretty dangerous.
Yeah, looking at it right now, we have C. Ronaldo with the ult and Bird coming up on their ult. So I'm looking for the flank right here from C. Ronaldo. It does come in. They're going to defense matrix it. They go in on it. C. Ronaldo getting taken out there. That's what they needed. They might get the grab in. They do get the grab in. Bird going in for the barrage. The barrage comes in there. The bomb coming in. And they used every ult in the book right there to clean up on the side of Otter Oxide. Now, again, they still do have Coalescence. They still have Shatter here. And it does look like we're getting some swap ups here on the side of Flashpoint. Now, they're swapping over to Zen Goats. We've got Moira Goats with a Pharah, so a 3-2-1 on the side of Otter Oxide.
Very interesting.
I think Bird, again, the unsupported Pharah, somehow always able to maintain their distance and maintain a lack of focus on them. Now the Shatter comes in on the backline for Bola Bowls. Charge coming in, Coalescence coming in with it here. They're going to be able to take this fight, it looks like. Now Piper stabilizing a bit. It does look like Bola Bowls is going to have to move in there, start swinging. Piper back and back out. Paco El Taco putting damage in on the backside here, and Bola Bowls chasing them back to spawn. So, looking at it here, Bird is going to be able to take out Paco El Taco, and they're exerting their dominance here on Flashpoint as they push them back all the way to spawn. Looking at the ult economy here, we've got Piper coming up on Shatter, or at least has Shatter, and it looks like Bird again 50% to their ultimate already, with Rudolph coming up on their sound barrier. So what do we see in this next fight here, Toots? Because it's coming up quick.
Yeah, I think it really depends on sort of how Rudolph and when Rudolph chooses to use this beat, and if Piper's going to be trying to use Shatter before or after.
Now, the Bash Shatter does come through. Heartbeat taking out Bowl of Bowls here, and it does look like they might be able to clean them up just a bit here. Bird going down, and that was a great engagement there, especially with C. Ronaldo getting on the backside, bashing the Reinhardt, and allowing that Shatter to come in for free for Flashpoint. Now, they're going to have to regroup here and spawn. Bird getting close to their ultimate. I'm thinking beat engagement potentially here. Absolutely. They need to get in there. They need to put some damage in. And Rudolph waiting on the side. Looks like it might be coming in. They do get the trance in. And here comes the barrage. This is going to go right through that trance. Bird putting in that work. And Piper going down. Now they've got a free Shatter here from Bowl of Bowls if they can get it in. Now, Bowl of Bowls does get taken out by Paco El Taco. C. Ronaldo taking out Rudolph. There goes that sound barrier, and Sakura needs to put in some work, but the fully charged Zarya and Boots here is putting in just as much work. Famsu, again, out of mech, and Hacker Pro trying to stabilize on point here. What can they do, Toots? They need to come in here with the bash. The beat comes in there from Rudolph, but here comes the grab.
Shatter. They need
big shatter there. And it does look like Bowl of Bowls might be able to carry this point with Hacker Pro. The counter beat comes in from Heartbeat, and this is just turning into quite the fight. It is devolving beyond anything. Bird to Bird getting taken out. Famsu coming in there, but it looks like Boots focusing down Famsu. Sakura tried to put in damage, pretty fully charged, but does get taken out. Rudolph trying to contest point, and Famsu is just off point, and they do end up taking point 3 there. Toots, these fights just aren't stopping. It just seems to just keep going and going and going. I'm going to lose my voice by the end of tonight.
I think, honestly, that it was really unfortunate what happened there, because I think Bowl of Bowls really had an amazing Shatter that really took the wind out of Flashpoint's sails. I think that there needed to be a bit of an adjustment in play style. You play follow-up on a Shatter very differently depending on sort of how up or down you are in a fight. If you do Shatter a full team and it's basically just you, maybe one other person on point, what you need to be doing is taking a safer position so that you can regroup and sort of reset the team fight. That's what a Shatter becomes when you're down in a team fight. It becomes your free reset. And instead, what happened is Bulls went in super deep, overcommitted, and then there was no value from the follow-up coalescence.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Toots. And I also just kind of want to point out a bit the strength of the 3-3 comp with Zen Goats, right? So not only did we have the trance to stop the grab, but we also had the counter beat afterwards to stabilize and then push forward with aggression, right? And when you're running the Zen Goats, that's what you're banking on, right? You're banking on those double support ultimates. You know, now looking at the comp that they're bringing out here on the side of on both sides actually. So it looks like we've got the Sombra Farah dive on the side of Otter Oxide, and we've got a Bastion comp here. We do have the Bastion comp on the side of Flashpoint. Now, I think with the comp that they're running on the side of Otter Oxide, they can dislodge this, but it's going to rest on the ability of Famsu to get in there and get a hack, and the follow-up needs to be decisive from the side of Otter Oxide. Now, maybe a Genji might be better, but the Moira pick's a bit of a curious one here for me.
Absolutely. I think Bird is going to have a lot of trouble. Like, Bird is going to have to be hiding until a huge hack comes off. And there are kind of two necessary targets, Grumpy Kitten and Boots. They're both going to need to be disabled.
Now, Bird already taking damage, and Grumpy Kitten really holding this corner here, stopping this dive from coming in effectively, putting in that damage. I like the positioning here of Grumpy Kitten a lot. It's making it so that they can't just simply get in there for free. Now, Famsu putting in work here, really putting in a lot of damage. The dive does come in, it's decisive. Bird gets out, takes out C. Ronaldo. Bowl of Bowls taking out Boots, and this looks like it's going to be going the way of Otter Oxide. What a dive there on their part. In the positioning there, and really like the oomph there from Famsu to just hold the front of Big Earl Simon and say, go ahead, try to get me right here and we'll dive you.
Yeah, that execution was almost flawless. I think Famsu got the hack off onto Boots, and that as soon as that hack happened, the entire team was on top of them. And like, I couldn't ask for more from a dive. That was perfect.
Now we do have Farah from C. Ronaldo now swapping back over to their bread and butter hero, and it looks like we do have a deep dive here from Piper on the back line. Rudolph going down, and it looks like they're going to be making quite a bit of space here. Now, it looks like Hacker's trying to keep everyone up, but again, C. Ronaldo is going uncontested here. Bird trying to put damage in the backside. The Coalescence comes in, but C. Ronaldo takes out Hacker right before they're able to actually get value from it. Bird is going to be going down in just a matter of seconds here, it looks like. And Sakura trying to put in work, but Bola Bowls does take out Paco El Taco. The Primal comes in from Bola Bowls here. What can Bird do to avoid damage, and does get taken out from C. Ronaldo? Sakura going in to try to contest C. Ronaldo, and Bola Bowls getting again in on the back line. Now, Rudolph putting in some damage on Heartbeat, and Heartbeat does end up going down here. Now, they're just contesting here on point. Moira coming in. Diva Bomb on point here. What can Bola Bowls do? Looks like they're getting focused down. They need to be careful. C. Ronaldo to take him down, but the Diva Bomb, this could be big here, and it is. It takes out C. Ronaldo. This is what they needed. This could turn the fight around. Piper getting low here, and they are getting taken out. It looks like this is going to be going the way of Otter Oxide. Paco El Taco going down in just a matter of seconds here. What a turnaround there, and what determination from the side of Otter Oxide teams.
Yeah, for sure. I think I was a little bit surprised at first because FAMSU built up EMP right before the bomb happened, and there must have been a call for FAMSU to save it because now they have something to roll through and keep the momentum moving through on streets.
Now, looking at it here, I'm expecting the EMP to come in. I'm expecting the barrage. It's going to be barrage EMP here is what I'm thinking is coming up, Toots. Now,
yeah, definitely.
Looking at it here, they're off point. Somebody needs to move that point. Hacker Pro needs to stay there, and this is maybe the weakness right now of the Moira, not having the range to really heal everyone up. But, you know, hey, it's still working, right? They're doing what they need to do. Now, Bird setting up for a flank here with the barrage, and FAMSU setting up on the backside. Does look like, at least right now, though, that they are pressuring on the backside on Paco El Taco. Bola Bowl's putting in the damage, but the counter peel was excellent. And C. Ronaldo taking out Bird here before they can even set anything up. They need to reset here on the side of Otter Oxide. This fight is going to be over if they don't. Now, Boots has swapped over to the McCree. This is clearly a pick to counter Bird on the Pharah. They recognize there is no mercy, so Bird is going unsupported. Now, looking at it right here, Rudolph's going to be coming up in an ult. They do have the EMP coming up here, and Hacker Pro is probably going to be engaging with Coalescence. Now, can Bird get off the barrage? We need the defense matrix probably here from Sakura. Now, they're going mano-a-mano here in the air. Bird against C. Ronaldo. Rudolph getting taken down by C. Ronaldo, though, and they're pushing them back. Bola Bowls on the back line. FAMSU putting damage in on Paco El Taco here. Is the EMP going to come in? It does look like the barrage comes in from C. Ronaldo, and this fight is going to be over. They are going to be holding on to their ults here, and Bird does get taken out. So, again, lack of initiative on the side of Otter Oxide here compared to what we're seeing from Flashpoint. They really just need to get in there. They need to pop some ults, and they need to get in there deep and aggressive.
Yeah, they really need to be using Sakura's Matrix to get in. They can't sort of just be walking out of chokes and expect Ronaldo not to be just chunking them the entire way.
And look at it already, right? C. Ronaldo just used ult and already back up to 60% ult charge on the barrage. Bola Bowls getting taken down by Boots. I mean, I'll tell you right now, McCree is an absolute tank melter now. And you have to be careful. If you're going in there, you cannot go unsupported as Winston. You need that Diva there to defense matrix you. Now, Grumpy Kitten does have bomb here. This could be a really good way to potentially zone out the Pharah and do some work here. FAMSU does look like they're setting up for an EMP on the backside here. Looks like they really do want to get Paco El Taco, though. So,
but they're fighting one down. They've been fighting one down this entire time. They can't even get out of the choke. They're losing the fights before.
Now, they are putting it in the back line. Here comes the EMP. The bomb is going to be big. This is going to get them. They should be able to get some cart movement here, but they need to peel back on the backside, and they do need to take them out. But C. Ronaldo coming back in there and does do work there with the barrage, but, you know, it looks like they're probably going to get taken out. Now, they need to move cart. There is no one on cart for the side of Otter Oxide here. They're letting it just sit there dormant. Now, looking at the ults, though.
Going to be a recontest, like 100%, at least one.
Yeah, Sakura needs to watch out, or they're going to get demeched again, and they do get demeched, and they cannot have that with the absolute incredible play here by C. Ronaldo. They need defense matrix to stop those from coming in. Now, looks like Boots really putting in work. Bird getting taken out. They're probably going to have to swap off of the Pharah here because they've gone at least 3 fights now without having an opportunity to put in barrage, and they need to find an opportunity to put it in, or they need to swap off it at this point. Now, we do have FAMSU swapping over to the McCree, recognizing the strength of C. Ronaldo here, but looking at the ult economy, they have a smorgasbord of ultimates on the side of Flashpoint here, and it's going to be very difficult for them to unlock it on the side of Otter Oxide.
They swapped off of Diva and onto Hog.
Now, they're also on Reinhardt as well, so
this is surprising.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're kind of at a loss of what they're supposed to be doing right now. Bola Bowl's shield could possibly be going down. FAMSU putting in work there on the backside here. FAMSU getting, 40% to all, and it does look like FAMSU does take out C. Ronaldo, which is good. Now, Hog looking to stabilize here on point. putting in hook, does end up missing here. It does get taken out there by Piper, and this fight is going to be over here again. And it does not look like they're going to be able to recontest Toots, and we're going to have map 2 here going the way of Flashpoint.
Yes. Yeah, and Bird was unable to get a barrage off there. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the barrage, we just heard just and was down immediately. Didn't even hear Justice.
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe swaps came in a little bit too late. Maybe the coordination wasn't necessarily there. But really, when it comes down to it, my takeaway right now is Flashpoint is really taking this to Otter Oxide tonight.
Yeah, they look more composed. I think Otter Oxide looks like they're having trouble just making engagement happens, and as soon as that starts happening, everything starts breaking down. We saw them make some kind of questionable switches from Diva to Hog, and it almost makes me wonder if they kind of were resorting to comfort picks because they just felt like they weren't able to get anything done. They took so many engagements to set up the EMP that I think honestly after the first one you start to have to ask yourself here at that point, like, do we just kind of dump everything and like pick a new game plan here, or like I feel like the playbook wasn't adjusted enough to really make a solid push through streets.
I definitely agree with you there, Toots. And now, we've been through this story before, right? We were through this story the other night. Otter Oxide going down 2-0, right?
Exact same
So Blazing Pegasus, exact same situation, exact same feel to the match as well.
Right. Otter Oxide, like they looked like they were in trouble, especially after Route 66. Like they looked like they were in trouble when they were playing against Blazing Pegasus.
Yeah, I mean, we thought it was going to be a 4-0 right there. So if there's anything we know about Otter Oxide, it's that their team is completely determined and they've got heart. They've absolutely got heart. If there's one team in this tournament right now who can turn this around, that we have faith can turn this around and make this into a really competitive match tonight, it's got to be the side of Otter Oxide.
Yeah. Now, the one thing that I will say is different, that feels a little bit different, especially if we're talking about sort of Otter Oxide's clutch factor here, it's Bird, right? And so I think Bird was showing up even in those early matches against Blazing Pegasus. And that, I mean, I think we're seeing a bit of a different story here where Bird's maybe sort of getting, meeting her match going up against Boots in this 1v1 situation. And I think I think it's going to be a tougher comeback. I think
it's a tall order right now, Toots. It's a tall order for them, right? Now, we do remember it was a tall order for them on, I believe it was Sunday, right? It was a tall order for them on Sunday, but they still came through. The only thing that feels maybe a bit different, right? They are missing their main shot caller tonight, right? So Disappoint is the main shot caller for the side of Otter Oxide, so they're not in tonight. So hard to say, right? Hard to say right now whether or not that's maybe one of those factors that's really causing maybe not necessarily a breakdown right now, but maybe it's kind of changing the face of the team when they're there, right?
Yeah.
As any team knows, when you're down your main shot caller, it can definitely be difficult, especially when it comes to clutching out fights, right? It can be difficult because you need somebody there who's kind of keeping everyone in order and allowing, or at least refocusing the team, right?
Yeah. I think the big thing here is like, when you are down a shot caller and like, both of us being coaches, I think we both have seen what happens when our main shot caller is not in the match, happens in scrims all the time. You really do get a feeling that your team is operating in a different way. And I think the extent to which it's damaging or not, maybe not damaging, but the way in which it poses a challenge to a team depends sort of on how decentralized the comm structures is. Like, like how much are the duties in shot calling divided up amongst the players? Because some teams sort of have specific roles devoted to specific players, or sometimes one person just kind of like is the hub, kind of drives the whole ship here, or drives the whole truck here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's something important to really kind of talk about, right? So I think an Owlet at least, and we can kind of talk about the tournament, what the tournament is really kind of speaking to, right? So obviously the goal is when players kind of come into this environment, they're put in or thrust into this team environment, right? And you learn a lot about the game, the way it's meant to be played, the way people are supposed to interact with one another, how it is that you're supposed to play as a team. right?
Yep.
And for anyone who's, maybe new to this environment, right? You don't sometimes recognize how important it is to have somebody there, or at least have a group there who are all kind of on the same page, right? And through the first map, I still think Otter Oxide, they're on the same page, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
seeing flashes of that from their team right now that says these guys are together, they're ready, and they can certainly put it together for map 3 coming up here in Horizon Lunar Colony. And you know, I'm expecting some fireworks on the side of Otter Oxide. I'm expecting them to stand up here, and I'm expecting them to put up a fight moving into map 3, Toots.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the one thing I will say, just to I think reinforce what you said, that unpinning a bunker comp is for a team that's having trouble coordinating is typically a very tall order. And we saw Otter Oxide dismantle that bunker Orisa Bastion comp like that. It was instant. So they definitely have execution down. And you know, I will say that, if there were problems with your shot caller being out, I think that's the first place where we'd see it, and we didn't see that. So I think they're in better shape than one might expect.
Hmm.
Um, but they put on a show the last time we were at Horizon Lunar Colony.
Yeah, we'll touch on that once we kind of get into the map, So it looks like both teams are readying up here, moving into map 3, and you know, what are we expecting to see from this map, Toots? Because I'm telling you right now, this is one of those few maps out there that you could really see just about anything. We could see the Bastion again on the side of Flashpoint, just based on what we saw on Route 66.
Mhm.
I would not be surprised if we saw the Bastion again here on Horizon Lunar Colony.
Yeah, I mean, if you're if you're a team that favors bunker positions, and even if it's not a Bastion, having like a Junkrat, having like a Hanzo, something like that,
Mhm.
uh, Horizon is a great place for that. Horizon first. I think on second it becomes a little bit harder to manage that. I think it's possible, but it's hard.
Mhm.
Um, I think, I think we're gonna see something brawly because that is the one consistent feature of Horizon Lunar Colony is that you sort of have like in your face brawl out fights
Mhm. Now,
almost throughout the entire map.
just based on what we saw the other night, I would not be surprised if Otter Oxide pulled out again the Ana goats. It seemed to be their go-to, and
Hmm.
by and large, their Ana was completely uncontested by
Yeah, those
Blazing
nades won
Pegasus.
every single fight.
Yeah, so maybe that's what we should really be looking at, right? Let's see whose Ana can put the work in. Are they going to be running Ana? Is maybe the question we should be asking ourselves here. And I
Yeah.
hope that's what we're seeing. I hope we get some Ana play. I hope we get some big nades, and I hope we get some fights in some places of the map that you normally used to seeing those fights.
Yeah, so I think you may be referring to a fight that happens outdoors.
I might be. I might be. Are
Space
they
fight.
going to grace us with what we love to see on Horizon Lunar Colony, Toots? That's the
Space fight
question.
round 2.
Space Fight V2. That's what I'm hoping to see tonight. I want to see them go out there. I want to see them take the flank, and I want to see some Reinhardts charge out, right off of the moon. That's what I'm wanting to see tonight, Toots.
Yeah, Twitch chat. We saw I don't know if it was a full 6v6 fight out in space, but this is an organized tournament environment with two full teams fighting outside in space.
And a Reinhardt charging off the edge into the nether. It was fantastic. Now, oh boy, we're building up the anticipation here, but it does look like we're getting a pause from both sides. Now, let's just talk about the comps a bit here. Looking at
Yeah.
both sides, we've got, yeah, it does look like at least right now we've got Otter Oxide on attack with Flashpoint on defense, and just as we expected, we do have the Bastion comp here, Toots. We have
So
the Bastion with Ana Lucio.
yeah, I have to say we saw a lot of Moira out of Flashpoint, and I was worried sort of when you're thinking about sort of what Ana's anti-nade can do against a Moira comp. I think it's really detrimental, but thankfully we're seeing an Ana here, so I'm relieved to see that.
Yeah, now they're setting up top left here. It's going to be important. How quickly can they basically transition from the choke here to where they need to go? Now, the halt comes out here. They do pull out one here. Now, Famsu needs to be careful, needs to eat those halts here, and they need to be moving forward. Now, Paco El Taco somehow is able to take out Rudolph right there, just showing a bit too much. Look at the positioning right now of Xavier. I mean, just recognize the incredible positioning here from Xavier, just saying, yeah, come on in here. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's
you know,
gutsy.
yeah, it's gutsy. Does end up getting out. Very lucky there to get out.
Yeah,
so,
true.
you know, they're putting in the damage here, and they need to transition from choke under them or through them here quickly. Now, they are pushing under. They can stabilize under here, make sure their shield's okay, and they're going to force this point, force the fight to point. Now, they need to hold under them. They can't be taking the damage there from the Bastion, from Boots. They need to be playing close. They are playing close. Grumpy Kitten gets pushed off, but we do have the tire coming in, and is it going to get value?
So
Does end
good.
up getting Rudolph. What a great tire there from the side of Otter, or from the side of Flashpoint. Now, they're putting in the damage. Bola Bowls having to move out. They do take out Paco El Taco here, but on the other side, Cristiano Ronaldo taking out Xavier here. And do they need to stabilize? It looks like Heartbeat's got a really good angle. The purple is big on the backside here. They do need to back out here, or they're just going to be feeding alt charge to the side of Flashpoint.
Yeah, I think we saw extremely strong execution with this bunker comp. With the way that they rotated and maintained composure, even though there was a goats comp taking point, Boots rotated onto the high ground again, continued to get value, and Ronaldo built up that early tire that is so essential against a goats comp and used it on the right target, Rudolph, to
Now,
reset the fight.
it does look like they're going to try to approach the point through the left side. I'm not sure about this approach here through the left side when there's a Bastion. There's too much open space, but they need to be quick. They need to get through there because that shield's not going to be lasting long. Xavier could get caught out here. Needs to be careful. Bola Bowls does end up getting taken out. And that is exactly why going left side against the Bastion comp is so dangerous.
What do they do? This is going to be a huge stagger. I mean, they should be able to go in and just start wrecking them.
But I want to point something out here, Toots. Look at C. Ronaldo here with the tire. Here it comes.
Oh,
it
no.
might take them all out. What a stagger potentially here. C. Ronaldo, tire going in. This could be really big, and it does take out Bird. That's what they needed right there.
And now the team's split.
Completely split here, and how is Bird going to be able to get back in there now? Now, they are playing under. Sakura's taking damage, and it looks like this fight is just completely devolved with Otter Oxide not sure right now where they need to be.
This wasn't even a team fight. This was
a prolonged stagger for about a minute right there, too.
This was just kind of them dying for like 30 to 40 seconds.
So there needs to be something that changes up here, and it needs to be the approach to point as far as I'm concerned, Toots.
Yeah,
They need to go underneath them. They need to pressure them, and they, you know, if anything, they could go around backside and then force them, you know, get right in on their faces, you know? Look at the alts that they have there. They have Grav, they have Shatter, they have Trance, and they have Bird's ult. They should be going in here into them, and it does look like they're going to be going in there. They do pop the ult. They're going to be charging in. They are putting all the ults on the table here, and we get the counter beat, though. The bomb comes in on the backside. Are they going to be able to block it? They do take out Rudolph with it. They're putting in some damage, though, and Bola Bowls is pushing forward. Bola Bowls is going to take out Boots. It looks like they might be able to stabilize here, get on point. Famsu's going low, though, and so is Sakura. They need to stabilize just a bit. Is the bomb going to be coming out here from Famsu? And it does look like they're going to be able to take out the Diva on the side of Flashpoint. Now, can Rudolph do what he needs here? Can this tire be big? Can this tire win it? They do take out Sakura. The Diva Bomb comes in here. We're down to 2 seconds left. Can they get in there? Can they hold this point? Who's going to win? This is going to be it right here. Can they hold? It looks like they might. Now, can they? It looks like they're going to be able to take out Xavier here on the backside. Xavier trying to hold on for their dear life. They need a touch point. They need to stay there. But see Ronaldo doing work on Junkrat right now. Xavier holding on, and it looks like they are going to be able to full hold here on Horizon point 1. This is a tall order right now, and we just need to point out, were they able to get a tick there, Toots?
I don't think so.
Well, we have to call it right now, right? The best that Otter Oxide can do tonight is tie on this map, meaning that at least for right now, at least for this match, Flashpoint is going to be taking over sole control of first place in the minors division in Owlet, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, for the fans of Owlet out there, you know, Flashpoint is going to take the match tonight. Now it really just comes down to map differential here for the side of Otter Oxide. You know, and map differential, pride, but you know, it's going to matter at the end of the season, right? When it gets to those playoff seedings, they're going to have to look back at this if they don't end up at least tying here, or maybe winning a map tonight is maybe one of those times where, you know, they could have done a bit better, maybe done a bit more right to kind of seed a bit higher going into playoffs. So looking at the comps here on the side of Flashpoint, it looks like we're going to be getting a Sombra Genji dive with a Lucio Anna. And on the side of Otter Oxide, it looks like we're getting a bunker comp. But it does look like Bird DC'd again here.
Bird is
So
having trouble tonight.
yeah, I would say so. So I think we're probably, yep, we're going to be getting a pause here. We might be moving into a break also until Bird gets back. So
Well,
just
the one
check
thing,
here with our production. Yeah, so it does look like we are going to be moving into a pause. But it looks like when we do get back, it's going to be a bunker comp with Bastion for Otter Oxide.
yeah, the one thing that I'd like to say though is that if we sort of think about what happened at the end of that fight, because it was really back and forth for a while there, is that we saw what happens when you have a team that knows how to abuse high ground, and Heartbeat was doing that. Heartbeat was up top the entire time, healing all of Flashpoint, and
Mhm.
you see the weakness of goats, right? I mean, basically all you have is Diva to contest that, and if you're just kind of like one of the, Diva's one of the 2 or 3 people who are left fighting on point, sometimes you can't afford to go up and harass the Ana, or you're for sure going to be losing the point in overtime. So just textbook weakness of goats there, and I think we saw the strengths of a properly executed bunker there. So props to Flashpoint for just immaculate execution there.
Absolutely. So, like we said, with that, we will be back from the break with the rest of Horizon Lunar Colony. Continue watching, and then, yeah, we'll be back. All right, welcome back, Owlet fans. We're moving back into the defense here for the side of Otter Oxide against Flashpoint. So again, Flashpoint coming out here with the Genji Sombra dive, and we've got the Bastion and Junkrat here on the side of Otter Oxide. Now, it looks like Rudolph is just going to be pushing to point, or Boots is going to be pushing to point. They might just cap it right here. They're going to have to watch out here. Now,
Ana contesting.
Ana contesting. This is dangerous. Dive comes in on the backside. They're going to be putting in some damage, but Famsu is not in turret form. Are they going to be able to take out Famsu here? And FAMSU is getting low. They're just putting incessant pressure on FAMSU on the Bastion. Now, looking at the point here, it looks like Grumpy Kitten is getting focused down by the rest of the team here, and they are able to stabilize there on point. Somehow, Rudolph and Xavier are able to keep FAMSU up there on the Bastion. Now, something to point out here and something very important is the lack of defensive ultimate on the side of Otter Oxide, Toots.
Yeah, and also the fact that Otter Oxide has forgone with the Diva, which we traditionally see more with a bunker comp, and instead we're seeing a Zarya, which makes it even more susceptible to dive. I'm a little worried about their ability to hold this when ults start getting dropped.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the fact that Xavier is the one who's contesting point, I wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe... Oh, here comes the dive in. It's getting very aggressive on the backside. Rudolph trying to peel on the backside to Xavier. Xavier getting low. Xavier might go down, but the heals are there from Rudolph. Rudolph's probably going to be popping Valkyrie in a moment. They do end up taking out Bola Bulls. Rez probably going to be coming in there. Tyre does come in. Are they going to be able to get value from Tyre? They do demech Grumpy Kitten. And if they can just stall out Grumpy Kitten here, this could be looking really good for the side of Otter Oxide.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. They're stabilizing every single time. It's looking a little shaky each time. What I'm really wondering is if Flashpoint is going to be picking up on the fact that Xavier is constantly out of position on these initial contests and abuse that.
My concern also is the fact that they have Genji Blade coming in here, and they're very close to EMP. So
yeah.
they are building up their win conditions on the side of Flashpoint here. They're ready to put them in all at one time. Now, looking at it here, Grumpy Kitten going up the stairs, trying to get back into mech here possibly. And Boots is on the backside here, you know, really looking to potentially contest Xavier, maybe hacking the Bastion, something like that. But they do have Blade. They're probably going to be coming in with a very aggressive dive now on their side. Now, Boots does have to translocate out. Boots does get taken out by Bird. What a great job by Bird there to sniff out that stealthy Sombra. Now, Grumpy Kitten trying to get back to the team here in a bad spot. And it looks like they're just staging this dive right now. They're taking their time. They're making sure that they execute. This is the fight right here, Toots. This is the fight. If they execute, if they carry out what they need to do and win, this is going to be the map going to Flashpoint. It's a moment of silence here before the Q party. Here we go. The suspense is real right now.
I'm nervous.
What's going to happen? When is it gonna happen? The EMP's coming in here from Boost. The dive comes in, and it looks like they're gonna Valk. The Diva Bomb comes in. Also the Blade. Are they able to sustain? Bola Bull's going down here. Bird potentially next. Genji Blade getting value. Sakura going down. FAMSU with the ult here, trying to put in value on Grumpy Kitten. FAMSU going down, and it is just blowing up here on the side. But the grab does come in. Can they put value in on the grab? And it does look like Grumpy Kitten takes out Sakura, and it looks like this is going to be going the way of Flashpoint. My goodness, Toots. What a fight. I mean, the moment of silence right there, the suspense that was building while everyone was waiting to get in position. My goodness, I am just beside myself with what I just saw.
Yeah, so am I. I mean, I think it looked potentially like something that Otter Oxide could bring back, because if we saw the EMP, we can even see it here. It was a partial EMP, right? The Mercy was still up. I believe Ana was also up, and that's why she was able to use Nano. It was
and
potentially
we did get the Valk as well.
Yeah, right. We saw both support ults coming out. Yeah, it was winnable, but just when it came down to just outright fragging, I think Flashpoint came out on top. I think they managed to clutch it out there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I mean, I think both sides executed very well. I think given the situation, given the fact that they didn't really have a true defensive ult on the side of Otter Oxide, I think that was maybe the best they could have wished for, given the comp that Flashpoint was running there. So again, Flashpoint already taking this match right now up 3-0. It really just comes down to, like we said, pride and map differential here on the side of Otter Oxide. Can they stop the 4-0 from happening? Can they maintain that map differential to a reasonable level? That's what we're going to be hoping to see here. Moving into the last map, which is Blizzard World, Toots. So is there anything we're thinking, you know, that Otter Oxide might need to change here when it comes to how they're approaching the maps? Or does it really just come down to, you know, we just need to step up a bit here? You know, we need to recognize that we have our pride on the line. We need to recognize that we're still a great team. And we need to show the tournament that we're still that team that was in first place prior to this match.
Yeah, so I think, okay, so first of all, I think Otter Oxide completely has what it takes to take at least a map off of Flashpoint. I also think that, you know, sort of one of the first things that come to my mind when I'm watching these fights evolve is that their compositions might be holding them back a little bit. They're sort of putting themselves at a disadvantage. And Flashpoint is going, they're going tried and true meta stuff. And I think when you can execute both properly, the tried and true compositions are going to generally edge out the off meta ones. But
Hmm.
we have seen Otter Oxide still manage to execute, still manage to outperform on stuff that shouldn't work, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
definitely would agree with you there on that one,
yeah.
Toots.
So I don't know. Like I would say, potentially they need to think about some composition changes. Maybe make sure they've got a bit more balance here. I was just placed onto Flashpoint for a second. I'm glad I'm not playing. Um,
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything, well, no, we'll just leave your skill level. We'll leave your skill level in the
spare
background, Toots.
spare me.
Yeah, spare you and spare the fans out there in Twitch land watching you play this game. So, um, that
It's
said,
too
I mean,
beautiful.
it's
My
too
play.
beautiful, man. It's too beautiful out there, right?
Yeah.
So, Toots, though, I mean, you probably talk a little bit about yourself. I mean, you were a tank main for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Did eventually and have maintained grandmaster status in the game. So, you know, I'm not just saying you're the guy who's hopping in there at the end of the season to finish your placements, but I mean, you do have the
Hey,
skill, right?
I've set my time aside for coaching. My time is for my team now.
Exactly.
I'm sort of I think that's sort of one of the nice things about playing on a team is that you manage to keep yourself sharp. And while I have definitely learned so much from coaching, it's definitely on a different level, right? It's sort of like more macro side, and I've gained a different kind of appreciation for the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that anyone who's been part of the Owlet tournament probably gains that appreciation for the game, right? I mean, that's really what Owlet's all about. I mean, obviously, we want to do well during the regular season. We want to, win as many matches as we can. But really, when it comes down to it, the main goal of Owlet, right, is simply to improve and to enjoy playing the game that all of us love, right? And we played in an environment that is, how might we put this? Set up or yeah, set up in a way to foster growth in the players that are in it, right? So no matter what happens tonight with the match here with Otter Oxide and with Flashpoint, there's going to be things that they're going to take from this match. They're going to go back to the drawing board. They're going to do VOD review, right? And there's
Mhm.
going to be improvement from whatever's happened tonight, right? And
Yeah.
again, that's what it's all about here at Outlet.
So I think the one thing that I can say is, from my perspective, and I'm sure as a coach yourself, you can probably also at least partially agree with this, is that losses are bittersweet for coaches, right? Because of course you want to see your team do well and succeed, but a loss is a learning opportunity, and it's one that really sticks with your players, right? Because you start to figure out, you know, what went wrong here? What could we have improved? And sometimes when you win, you still do learn things, right? Because no one's perfect, but at the same time, you're not looking at so many opportunities, staring you right in the face. Here is where we lost this fight. Here is where we lost this other fight, right? So, I feel like a loss is also a really big growth opportunity.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Toots. And I can almost guarantee you that moving into week 5, the last week of stage 1 here in Outlet, that Otter Oxide is going to be coming back even stronger than they were this week. And again,
I'm
they
sure.
came off an incredibly tough match against Blazing Pegasus on Sunday where they were able to clutch it out in 5 maps. And, maybe it was almost inevitable that there was going to be a bit of a downswing on them today after such a high on Sunday, right?
It was. I mean, it was a tall order to follow that up.
Yeah. So, and if I know one thing about Otter Oxide, having spoken with them the other day in the interview, it's that no matter what, I know they're going to be coming back even stronger. Now, looking at the comps here, we do have dive on, or we have bunker comp on the side of Otter Oxide, and we have a dive comp here on the side of Flashpoint. Now, looking at it here, they are diving in on the back line. Rudolph getting pressured, going over to the mini, but does get booped off there. What a peel there by Pie Ninja. Absolutely just booping off, but Paco Otaco here popping off and taking out Bird. But it does look like they might be able to stabilize. But it looks like the work is really coming in here from Boots, and Boots is stamping their boots on the competition here, really stamping it out. And,
This is anybody's point right now.
yeah, it is anyone's point, but see Ronaldo now coming back here on the Genji
Yeah.
instead of the Pharah. I like that. I like the swap, and yeah, really great work there on the side of Flashpoint to kind of just take a step back. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the standout there on that particular fight's got to be Boots, Toots.
Yeah, Boots was actually nice rhyming.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Boots was really in the back line, got an early pick. I think it was Famsu. I think it was Famsu on Hanzo, and just kind of took out the primary source of damage next to Bird, or at least halved it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now looking at the positioning here of Otter Oxide, they're giving them a lot of space, right? So I'm not sure I like this. They can move around them on Pylon here if they hold this far back. Now, I recognize they want to put the damage in here. They are putting damage in, but Piper's coming in on the back line, and it looks like they're zoning out the heals there quite a bit. Now, Pie Ninja does have the ult. Are they going to pop the ult potentially to zone? It looks like the Diva Bomb's actually going to be coming out here from them, and this is not what we wanted to see. Now, the barrage just come in here from Bird. Are they going to be able to clean up? Are they going to be able to stabilize? It looks like they might be able to stabilize here, and they are going to be able to take out the side of Flashpoint. The res comes back in on Bola Bulls, and they're going to stabilize right here at the pylon. So, you know, maybe lack of execution there from the side of Flashpoint, but a very staunch hold there on the side of Otter Oxide. And it's tough to sometimes unseat these bunker comps, especially with the Pharah in the air. They, you know, Boots has swapped over to the Widow, recognizing the strength of Bird on the Pharah. So, you know, the only difference I'm seeing right now is it does look like Bird's being supported now by an actual Mercy, which is good to see.
Yeah.
Now, they are going to be pushing up on Pylon here around the left side, possibly staging a dive to get in there on Bola Bulls on the backside. Now, the target they're looking for is probably going to be Rudolph or Famsu sitting here on the backside. Pie Ninja's going to have to keep an eye on them, so if they do get dived, they can peel onto the backside. Now, we're just waiting here. We're waiting for it to start. They're just getting everyone together. C. Ronaldo does have ult.
This is exactly what they need to be doing. They need to be moving up. I was going to say, the difference between Blazing Pegasus and Flashpoint here is that Blazing Pegasus took high ground and it worked so well. That's exactly what they need
now,
to be
Grumpy
doing.
Kitten going into the back line, trying to zone out the Zenyatta, who's now falling back to the Mercy. Grumpy Kitten does get taken out, though. A bit of an overextension on their part. Now, are they going to commit the ults? Are they going to be coming in? Boots taking over payload, does have a really good angle there on Rudolph on the backside, and Pie Ninja getting purple, big purple there from Rainbow. Now, are they going to be able to put the work in? Can they do it here? Can Grumpy Kitten zone out the Pharah? But Bird taking out Rainbow on the backside, and Rudolph popping Trance here. Now, can they get the res off? They are not able to get the res off, and Bob is in here. Bob may be able to take control of this point. Paco Otaku here with the Trance, and they're just going to have to back out here as Bob says, hey, don't worry about it, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and hold this point for you. And that payload has not moved at all, Toots.
No, not at all. Yep, and it's actually starting to move back a bit here, so...
and what a great stagger there by Rudolph there on Boots.
That was phenomenal.
Yeah. So, looking at the ult economy coming up here, we're still holding on to C. Ronaldo's Genji Blade. You know, they need to get in there with the Genji Blade, especially knowing that they just popped Trance from Rudolph. This is almost a free blade as long as they follow up on it, and this is going to give a ton of room for Boots to put in damage on Bird. So, are they going to zone it out, though, maybe with a Diva Bomb, Toots?
I don't know. You have to be really careful about how you combine those two ultimates, right? Like, you have to... I mean... Oh, okay, you're talking about on the side of...
Yes.
Yes, for sure. I think that's a strong play.
Going in on Rudolph here. How are they going to control this? The Genji Blade comes in, and it is nanoed. And it looks like they might just be giving this up. I think they're recognizing, at least right now, let's stabilize as long as we can. But the trades are coming over. But Boots is putting in work here, and Boots takes out another. Boots is taking out 3, but Xavier says, don't worry, I'll Neptuno you here, and does get in there with the Valkyrie Mercy to put damage in on Boots. Now, can Xavier hold the point for just a little bit longer so they can get everybody out of spawn? It looks like they are going to be able to get out here. Rudolph waiting there for the Guardian Angel to come through, and they're going to be able to recontest this. I actually don't think that's a horrible trade there on the side of Otter Oxide, Toots.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think they bought enough time. Like, they are going to get another fight here. And I think that's as much as you can ask for.
Now, look at Piper here on the side, looking to dive the backline pretty aggressively. I don't know if Piper's scouted right now. And Boots holding high ground, trying to put damage on Rudolph. The Diva Bomb comes on the backside here. It's going to be dangerous. It does take out Rudolph, and they're going to be holding point. Bola Bulls puts down the ult, but doesn't get it out. Bird coming in with the barrage, but doesn't get any value from it as Boots takes out Bird here with the barrage. Grumpy Kitten getting demeched, but they should be able to cap point 2 here on the side of Flashpoint.
That was all about Rudolph getting bombed there and not being able to trance, right?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Toots. Just, you know, it was excellent execution on the side of Flashpoint. So looking at it right now, we do have Trance on the side of of Otter Oxide here, and we're coming up on a Bob as well. Not too many alts here, though, as we get an entire comp swap from the side of Flashpoint. Swapping over to Zengoat's composition while we still have the Pharah and the Ashe on the side of... and they're just pushing in. They're just pushing in, recognizing that they have the advantage. But the Diva Bomb coming in on the backside does take out Boots, and what a great Diva Bomb there from Pie Ninja. This is going to buy them some time to move forward here, and if they can just put a bit of pressure, they can get that payload stopping right there, and it does look like right now that they're going to back out.
They needed to do this, and you see a lot of teams make the mistake of pushing in and actually taking a fight there. They would have lost for sure and had a huge stagger.
Now, look at the rotation here from the side of Flashpoint. Coming in on the left side here, trying to get on the back end and really forcing in onto Xavier. Xavier with a great sleep on Grumpy Kitten, but Pie Ninja does get taken out. Bird has Barrage. Barrage does come in, and the trance comes out there from Rudolph to try to save him. Save her, but does not save Bird at all. That is unfortunate from Bird. Bob here, though, putting in a bit of work, but Zarya is fully charged for the side of Flashpoint, but does get taken out by Bola Bulls. Now, are we going to get a swap from Bird here off of Pharah? I don't know if we're getting a ton of value from her Pharah right now. It's hard to say. I would almost, looking at the comp right now, I'd almost say we might get a bit more value from a Lucio, just being able to speed the Reinhardt around a bit. But the Pharah's not horrible.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you're gonna use Pharah, if there's ever a time to switch to Pharah, I think it'd be maybe here.
Yeah, you might be right. The Shatter comes in from Bola Bulls, and that Fire Strike was decisive. And they do somehow force out the trance. I think this was a misplay from Rudolph here to pop the trance. But I guess it is last fight, and they're going to be able to actually hold them here. So good on the part of Otter Oxide, holding them to only holding them only to 2.5 points here. So again, excellent work from the side of Otter Oxide, not going home. And they're saying we're going to be able to take this map here potentially. And their win condition now is simply to take it 75 meters on point 3, and they will be able to take Blizzard World from Flashpoint.
Yeah, I mean, I think they managed to make a composition that is typically difficult to pull off on defense, especially second phase on Blizzard World. Like, they managed to make that work, and really, I think, honestly, the only reason they lost it, at least without going into overtime on the Streets phase, is because Rudolph got caught out with that early bomb and wasn't able to trance the team in.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate bomb, but,
they're showing up. They're showing up.
I'll say this. One of the best pieces of advice I was given, and I'm a support main myself, right? So Toots being the tank main with his shield doesn't maybe have to worry about this as much all the time. But, just a bit of advice to all the players out there, right? If there's a diva on the other team, you should always position yourself as if the diva has diva bomb, right?
Have a plan.
Have a plan of escape every single time so you don't get caught out with the diva bomb. So what we mean by that is simply don't stand in the middle of the road, right? And if you are in the middle of the road, make sure there's a door right next to you. So, we see that a lot with players a bit lower in SR, right? And that's one of those things where you end up getting those like 5 and 6K diva bombs on players that are lower SR, but then you go into, the higher SR teams, the higher SR matches, and those diva bombs just aren't as effective as they used to be. Right? So I'll say this, Rudolph has been playing absolutely fantastic tonight. Unlucky they got caught out there by the diva bomb, but again, a learning moment. So
yeah, right. It only needs to happen once or twice in a high pressure setting for you to start thinking, hey, I need to plan for this on every single map now.
Exactly. So Bird coming back out here on the Pharah, but looking at it right now, Boots on the Ashe putting in damage already on Bird. Bird saying, I'm going to have to watch this just a bit here. Now, Bird really taking a lot of damage here. And Paco Otaco also putting damage into the Pharah. Anna is also a DPS hero, not just a support player. So the rotation coming in here from Otter Oxide, they're going to be pushing in from the lower level, coming all the way around on the backside, and trying to push in here where they have a bit more space to kind of work in. But
more cover.
Boots really putting in the work here on the Ashe, taking out Famsu and Xavier, but Famsu does take out Piper here, and they're going to just need to back out here and reset. Either jump off the map, but Bird does take out C. Ronaldo. Again, Bird putting in a ton of work on the Pharah. If there's something we know about her Pharah, it's that regardless of how much support she's getting, she can still do a ton of things with Pharah.
Yeah, now the one thing that is interesting is typically when you have a Pharah playing with like a Rein Zarya comp, typically Farah will be taking an alternative angle to make the Reinhardt just feel pressured and need to turn shield or just in some way create opportunities for their team. But Bird can't really do that because of the lack of heavy support that you'd usually get with a Mercy.
Yeah, now that Fire Strike, every time the Fire Strike's coming in, Piper's hitting 1 or 2 people. Now the charge from Bola Bulls, and they take out Piper decisively right there. Bola Bulls holding the shield, saying, hey, play behind me. I will take you to the promised land here. Bird putting damage in on Boots, saying, it's okay if you're hit scan, I'll still take you out. Paco Otaco going down here momentarily on point. Bird somehow, again, staying alive, taking out Paco Otaco, and Grumpy Kitten going down here in just a matter of seconds as well. Great take there on the side of Otter Oxide, and this is the momentum they need moving into point 2 here to really get some work done. Now, we've got Bob on the side of Flashpoint, and, you know, it's going to be a little difficult, I think, right now for Farah to get a lot of work here on point 2. They're going to find it a bit more difficult, Toots.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a little bit of cover going in, but high ground is just so well established on Blizzard World streets that, like, if Boots has any support at all, I'm expecting to see just an absolute denial of Bird
Now,
in the airspace.
look at Rainbow right now, playing back with Boots on the backside, looking
Right.
to damage boost. Paco Otaco also giving a lot of space because of the Farah. Now we have the Tire coming in here. Piper taking out Bola Bulls, and they do end up taking out Xavier with the Tire. Rainbow getting low there, and this fight is just kind of taking place here on point. And see Ronaldo again. You know, this is I think maybe the 3rd map we've seen see Ronaldo on Junkrat, and I just see him lighting up the kill feed on that Junkrat.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a Junkrat be this effective against a composition that Farah's being run in a long time, and I have to say I'm really impressed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, his C Ronaldo is just excellent at Junkrat here. Now, Bola Bull is applying pressure on the point. The Ash Dynamite does put some pressure there on Piper. They're pushing through just a bit. Now, the Grav comes in, and it does look like Bird is going to be able to do a ton there with the barrage. Now, Bob coming in here to contest point, but counter Bob on the other side here. They need to stay behind the shield. The charge comes in on the Bob, and his Bola Bull is overextended a bit here. It does look like Bola Bulls has overextended a bit. The Bob on the other side goes down, but Boots on the top here putting in a lot of work. Now on the backside of point here, and can Pied Ninja take out Boots? It looks like they're going to be able to reset a bit quicker. Spawn advantage towards the side of Flashpoint, and they need to back out here and reset for Otter Oxide before they lose too many. And Boots taking out Xavier right there. That's a bad stagger for them, but they still have, you know, they still have 2.5 minutes here, right, Toots? So they've got maybe,
there's plenty of time here.
Yeah, we've got 3, 4 fights maybe still left in the books here
And they
for
have
the side of Otter
really
Oxide.
good ults to roll up on too. They have both support ults. They've got Shatter. They have everything they need to make this happen.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Now,
Rip Tire.
I'm worried a bit about Paco Otaco's Nano here and how much value the Nano is going to get. I imagine it's going to be going on Reinhardt or D.Va, and it's going to be big. Now, the Shatter comes in. It's very big.
My God.
Counter beat, though, and the charge, though, from Piper. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, that charge from Piper there may win them this point here. Stopping Bola Bulls from doing work on the rest of the team. But Bird now on Widow, takes out Rainbow. Famsu taking out C Ronaldo here, and this could potentially be going the way of Otter Oxide. Now, Xavier getting very aggressive here on Piper. They need to watch out for Piper, though, because they're going to be regrouping, and they may be able to recontest this point quickly here. Mercy coming back in here, putting a lot of damage on Paco El Taco, and they're back on point. Bola Bull's on the Winston to get back in quicker, though, and Piper over here on the Mini. They do take out Grumpy Kitten, and this is looking really, really good for Otter Oxide. Bird taking out Rainbow, Pie Ninja demecking, and they are just cleaning it up here, and they're going to be able to take this point back. But C Ronaldo on the Genji here, on point. They've got to be careful here. They need to take out C Ronaldo, and they do take out C Ronaldo. I really do think right now that this is definitely in favor of the side of Otter Oxide here. They have 2.5 minutes here to push it about 74 meters.
Yeah, they're in really good shape. I was a little bit worried about how deeply Bola Bulls went in, but he managed. I think he was expecting to trade himself off for the cap on the point, which I think would have been totally acceptable. But the supports managed to keep him up, and the DPS managed to somehow follow up because they were running double hit scan and could sort of outrange them.
We do have double sniper on the side of Otter Oxide, but Bird has swapped over to the fair. I think this is a great swap with the swap that we saw.
Definitely.
Now, the Grav comes in here. There's no defensive ultimate for them to stop this. Can they put the work in? The counter ult comes in there. Nano on Boots here. Boots is going to be doing a lot of damage, but Bola Bulls takes out Paco Taco. Bird taking out Piper, and they're going to be pushing this through. What a great turnaround there from Otter Oxide, and this looks like it's definitely going to be going the way of Otter Oxide. Map 4 going to Otter Oxide, and it does go to Otter Oxide. Now, that is, if I could say so, that is some pride right there from the
Yeah.
side of Otter Oxide saying, listen, we're a great team. We're not giving up tonight. But the match ultimately does end up going to Flashpoint tonight, 3-1, Toots. Takeaway from this evening.
Honestly, like I can't remember the last time I saw bunker comps executed so well, and I think Horizon's really where we saw that to a T. We saw sort of everything being done right in the playbooks here. I mean, honestly, on both sides with a couple small exceptions. So I'm just really impressed by both of these teams, their ability to play compositions well,
Mm-hmm.
and of course Otter Oxide's clutch factor in making sort of off meta picks work, right? Like we talked about it before this map that they can totally make it work, and I think they proved our point.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Toots. This was an excellent match to watch. The minors division is airtight when it comes to the competition here, right? We've
Hmm.
seen Blazing Pegasus now, we've seen Flashpoint, we've seen Otter Oxide twice, and all three of these teams taking up the top of the division are phenomenal, right? I mean, just looking at the grav in the play of the game, for instance, right? Gets the grav right on the wall. They're able to follow up on it. Bob comes in next, right? I mean,
Hmm.
just the sequencing of alts there from Otter Oxide tells me, it doesn't matter if their shot caller was gone tonight. They had everything they needed to take this match tonight. It was just in certain parts there was a bit of lack of execution, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's really what it came down to.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think on any given day, this matchup might have gone differently, right? Like it's really hard to say because we saw moments where Otter Oxide looked like a team that could just as easily have reverse swept as just as they did in their last matchup against Blazing Pegasus.
Hmm. Definitely agree with you there, Toots. Now, let's talk about everyone's favorite part, right? Players of the game. So, Toots, who was your player of the game entirely, and then maybe a player of the game from the other team that doesn't get.
So let me take a look here. There were a lot of, I mean, there was honestly like a lot of really strong play. I would say Bowl of Bowls uh, managed to put on, just as good of a show as they did last time. I think maybe found himself a little bit earlier than he did in the match against Blazing Pegasus. I think Rudolph played super, super well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that honestly, Ronaldo's execution on Junkrat uh, really just kind of won me over. I like,
You don't hear it often, do you?
yeah. I mean, I know that competitive Overwatch has a soft spot for Junkrat players. Um, Jkrat, anyone.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, I think like it's incredible to see that even happening in the minors for Owlet. Like I just think that the timing, the knowledge of sort of who to be using your tire on.
Mm-hmm.
If you get that wrong, you get like Ghost wipes the floor with you. So uh, honestly, I was just so impressed with Ronaldo's play tonight overall.
Now, give me a player of the match then from the side of Otter Oxide tonight for you, Toots.
Hmm.
Or if you'd
I think
like, I
I'd
can
have to
give you
say
my. I
no, no,
can
no,
go with
no.
my player of the match if you want.
No, I think honestly, I was really impressed with Famsu's play as well.
Mm.
Now I usually tend to go with tanks and supports because those are the roles that I specialize in. But I couldn't help but admire sort of the work that Famsu was putting on first point for Blizzard World, and I can't help but think that that was a huge part in them taking that
Mhm.
decisively.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I mean, FAMSU cannot be, discredited at all for their play tonight. I thought it was great, but I also want to point out FAMSU's ability to flex. So
Sure.
I think we saw FAMSU on maybe three different roles tonight, actually, which you don't see often, right? So, I think also we are going to be bringing in a few for interviews here. We're just going to be lining that up here. So, if our producer can line up an interview for us, that would be really great. Maybe. Let me
Um,
see who we got.
while we're setting things up, also I can't forget Boots. Boots played so well tonight, right? We were so afraid of what was going to happen when we had Bird on Widow, but Boots was shutting Bird down for a good part of
You're
Route
stealing
66.
my fire here, Toots. You're stealing my fire.
I'm still going with Ronaldo.
Boots
Don't
is my
worry.
player of the match.
So
100%. I mean,
sorry.
come on.
Well, as soon as I said it, I realized. I looked at the player cards. I was like, "Oh God,
I'm
Boots."
telling you, you like the sails. You've taken the wind from my sails. How could you forget
This is
Boots?
payback for dissing my
I
play when they
said
were gonna
Boots
swap me in.
Toots, and you forgot Boots. I mean, come on. If there was one person that not only almost carried their team on Blizzard World to the finals, or at least to the win, the 4-0, it was Boots the entire night. Their DPS was incredible. I mean, we've seen Bird's Widow before, and I'm telling you right now
Bird is scary.
that Boots locked down Bird on
Yes.
Route 66, okay? Didn't matter what Bird was doing. Bird's a great DPS player, right? But my
No.
God, was Boots able to put the DPS players and the support players in check on the side of Otter Oxide tonight. I've not seen a player so influential in a match in a long time. Boots is my player of the match without a doubt. That said, watching the side of Otter Oxide, it's tough for me to pick, who on their team was the real standout, but I'm going to give it to Rudolph. I'm giving it to Rudolph tonight, and I'll tell you why. There were multiple fights tonight where Rudolph came in with clutch support ultimates. And I'm talking about sound barriers in particular that absolutely won him the fight. I think there was a few on Route 66 where I said that's the fight win right there because of Rudolph's sound barrier. And a consistent presence at all times. What I love seeing about a support player is when they're the last person picked in a team fight, right? And consistently, Rudolph was positioning themselves so that they were there to apply pressure when they needed to. So, 100% right now, Rudolph's my player of the match for the side of Otter Oxide. You deserve it. Great job, bud. And yeah, what a great match altogether. Really a show from both teams. And here momentarily, I think we might be getting the entire team in from the side of Flashpoint. I'm not entirely sure right now, but we're gonna try to figure this out. We'll be right back then with that interview, everybody. All right, we're joined tonight by C. Ronaldo, Toots' player of the match, actually, if you didn't know C. Ronaldo. So welcome, C. How was the feel in the camp tonight after the win?
I was big. Staying on top of the standings feels real nice. It was a tight game there. There were points where weren't quite sure if we were going to pull it out, but in the end we got it. Great game from both sides, but glad we ended up on top.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, knowing what we know about Otter Oxide, we expected a close match tonight. And I'll tell you, Nepal was incredible, right? We thought we were in for a barn burner after Nepal. We were not disappointed. But from your perspective, what do you think was the reason why you guys were able to pull this out tonight? What was it? The preparation? Was it maybe scouting on Otter Oxide? What was it that you think helped you kind of carry you to the win tonight?
I think today we just really played well together as a team. We really stuck together and did our best, played to our comp strengths, and just played our game and focused on that.
That's wonderful. Toots, questions from you.
Yeah. So one of the things that I think everybody at home saw when we were watching these fights go down is that sort of like, regardless of the ult initiations, uh, as soon as the initial engagements happened, that almost always the fights kind of like boiled down to like 2 to 3 people on both sides, just like duking it out, slugfest on point. What were comms like when you guys found yourselves in those moments, which I think there were a lot of?
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie, they were pretty hectic, but just calm enough that we could all be calling the same target, and I think that's kind of what gave us the edge in some of these fights, was just everybody managing to focus on one target at a time and just work through and finish off these fights.
Adding to that question, and this is the one I really want to know. There was the calm before the storm on Horizon Lunar Colony. Okay, there was a good maybe 10 seconds where you guys were setting up for the Q fight, right? You know, there was the Samba ready with EMP. You were ready there with the Blade. They had the ults on their side. What was the mood? What were the comms like? What were you guys thinking when you were going into that fight on Horizon Lunar Colony?
We were actually pretty calm. We'd had some issues with Horizon last game, but we had talked about it in between games and how we want to approach it, and it was all just really calm so we could get a really good clean setup off and get a good engage, and thankfully it worked out.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It was a treat watching your team tonight, Ronaldo.
Absolutely.
You know, both teams put on an absolute show. I want to thank you for hopping in here for the interview tonight. If you've got any shout outs or anything like that, please feel free to put them out there. Any, thanks to those in the crowd, those in Twitch chat, whatever you'd like at this point.
Big shout out to everybody who supported us on Twitch. I hear we were a little bit of underdogs. Glad you guys stuck with us, and big shout out to the rest of my team. Couldn't have done it without you guys.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again for hopping in with us, C. Ronaldo. My name's Futmob. I've been joined tonight by Toots, and our great producer for this evening's show was Nekkra.
Yeah, shout
Thank
out
you,
to
everyone.
Nekkra.
Yeah, absolutely great job stepping up there for us tonight when we didn't think we were going to have a producer and we weren't sure if we were even going to cast. Sadly, we didn't get Spacefight V2, but hey, season's still young. We are going to be getting Horizon Lunar Colony again in the map pool come stage 2, and I'm really hoping I'm there to cast those matches.
Likewise.
All right, well, we're signing out. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next week with Week 5, the last week of Stage 1 of the Owlet tournament.
Good night.